Hello everyone. It's time to replace some of my Nexan Z-Wave devices with Shelly devices, and of course connecting them to my Magic Mirror. So welcome and hope you enjoy. So I will be replacing my old Nexan devices with new Shelly devices, Shelly plugs. And this is for the pump and for the chlorinator to the pool. We'll probably replace other devices as well, but my problem here is that it fails all the time. I can't get it to reach here because of the garage. This is the antenna is actually on the other side of the garage inside my house, so I can understand that it can't reach here with the Z-Wave. Z-Wave is not so easy to extend. It's supposed to extend when you have several devices and they should talk to each other, and I've tried that as well. I have in this direction I have a sauna where I put one of the devices, and that should be free sight to this one, but it didn't really help. I couldn't get it to work, so it failed quite often to switch on and switch off the pump and the chlorinator. So I need to do something here. And since my Wi-Fi coverage is good, I actually have an access point in the garage. The Shelly devices has no problem to communicate. And another reason for this is that the Shelly devices are not requiring any controller, which the Nexan and Z-Wave do. So the Shelly device has its own schedule and it has its own time and clock. So even if it wouldn't have a connection for a while, the schedules would still work since it's contained in the device. So there are many reasons to replacing this, and they are also very good fit for my Magic Mirror. They're easy to monitor. So to start with, I will have two here, and for the chlorinator as well. So let's see how that works. Let's have a quick look at the differences between Shelly and Nexan devices. This is by no means a complete comparison. This is just for my use case, or what I'm using it for. So first of all, the communication, obviously. Shelly is using the Wi-Fi, which is easily extended for me and available everywhere. And the Nexan device is a Z-Wave device, which should be a kind of mesh network, but I never get that to work. So the extension, the range extension is in Shelly's case easy enough with Wi-Fi devices, but the mesh network of the Nexan devices was not for me. I couldn't get that to work in a good way. Scheduling, meaning turning on and turning off devices at certain times. Shelly device has it built in. For the Nexan devices, you need to have an external controller and possibly also Teldus Live in my case. And actually, they have changed the model here as well. So I need Teldus Live Premium, which means I have to pay for the schedules. So that's also a reason that I don't want to use it anymore. REST APIs. There are REST APIs against Teldus Live. Again, I need a premium model here, while the Shelly devices has built in every device a REST API endpoint, so you can talk directly to the Shelly device. In some cases, that can be a problem because if you have many devices, then you need to know each and every one of the devices. You can't access one node and get all the information. You need to connect to every single device. So it could actually be a disadvantage compared to the Teldus Live solution. It has built-in power monitoring, which the Nexan device has not, and the power consumption, so that's positive. Bidirectional, well, both are actually bidirectional, Z-Wave and Wi-Fi. So that's similar. So now we need to have a look at how I will actually use this and how I will connect it to my Magic Mirror. The devices I'm using are Shelly S plug. It's a simple relay device, but it has all the features same as all the other devices. So the first thing I did was connect it to my Wi-Fi, and you can actually connect it in 3 different ways. You can use a built-in Wi-Fi in the device, you can use Bluetooth, or you can use the barcode to add your device. And now I have added it using my phone app, and I can access it through my browser. So in this case, you see one of the devices here, and I have added a weekly schedule to it. And this is one of the reasons I want to use this device, because the schedule is contained in the device. So it doesn't need any controller, it doesn't need any communication, anything. It will keep the schedule working. And when it's connected to Wi-Fi, it will sync the time as well. You can see the time at the top here, top right corner. So that's really convenient. And then, of course, it has a lot of other functions. I will not go through them now. So my purpose here is basically to replace the Z-Wave Nexan devices with the Shelly plug to get it to work and have no need for the controller for the Z-Wave, and also to be able to communicate with my Magic Mirror. So one of the nice things we can do here is that we can access the device status directly from the command line, from the URL. So here you can see it replies with a JSON array with all the information, and all the devices has both a temperature sensor, and it also monitors the power. So that's also convenient. All of the devices has a built-in power monitor. So now we want to try and access this from my Magic Mirror using Python. So I have opened up the Visual Studio Code and connected it remotely to my Raspberry, which is running the Magic Mirror. So now I want to modify the Python code to use the Shelly devices instead of the Nexan devices through the Teldos controller. So first I've created a Shelly function or class to update and to set the device status. So first I have 2 variables here. First one is to actually set to read the status of the device, if it's on or off. And then I have another one to set it to on and off. And then we need the IP, since I will reuse this class for many devices. Each device will have a unique IP. And then some other information that can be used for the energy consumption and the temperature of the device. So moving down here, the first part, the update function, it will first set the status of the device. And this is a really easy way to do it. You just use the URL with the IP address, and then you following that you set the relay, and if you want to turn it on, or in this case off. So what I'm doing is that if I have set my variable to on or off, I will just issue that URL command. And when it's done, I will set it to empty, so I don't do it all the time. It's really easy way of implementing this. And after I have set the device status, I will also read the device status. And that I will do every time, of course. I will read the status of the relay, and I will read the status of the power meter and the temperature. So it's a nice class for this, and I've also added a function to update several devices. So this one will be threaded. I will poll it every 10 seconds, updating the devices if needed, and if not needed, I will just retrieve the status. So in this case, I have added for the pump and for the chlorinator. So I have 2 devices at this point. But it's easy enough to add more lines here in the thread. So now we want this to be replacing the Teldus devices or the Nexan devices. First of all, I will move down to my main. For you who have not seen my earlier videos, this is a demo application I'm using for the Medic Mirror, which I'm adding on functionality as I create the different videos. So I will not go through every details of this. You will find that in my earlier videos. So the first thing I want to do is to turn off the Teldus. I have a line for this one here. I will not need to call it anymore because I don't use it for anything else but these 2 devices. And then I want to call my new thread Shelly for updating and controlling the Shelly devices. But before that is done, I need to initiate my class. I have that here. So I've done it like this. I create the class, and then I set the IP address of the device, and then I create for the second device as well. That's also kind of neat, just to add new ones here. And now we want to replace the devices. Find my Teldus. Need to do anything about the class right now. But here we have the index page, which is the debug page. And of course I want to update that. You can see that I have the status of the pool pump here. And I will comment that out. And I will add the section for displaying the pool pump using Shelly devices. And I will also put in the energy consumption and temperature for debugging. If we move to the next part here, this is the one that's actually used for the Medic Mirror page, the root page of the Flask web server. Here we want to comment out the pool pump and the chlorinator, and we want to add here. I will actually add the energy consumption as well, because my pool pump is quite using quite a lot of energy, so I want to know how much and when it's being used. So we'll just show that value as well. So my demo site is running here. We can see that it's checking the devices. Let's have a look at the page. Here's the page, and down here we have the circulation and the chlorinator. I've also added the energy consumption below the circulation. So I will just use my phone to turn on the pump. It's on. Take maximum 10 seconds, I think. There we go. Circulation is on, and I also monitor the energy consumption. Really nice. And even if I don't have any connection to Wi-Fi or Magic Mirror is not running or anything, it will still keep the schedule. So that's I achieved what I wanted here.